Hi everyone, today you're going to be painting your clay monsters. So the first thing you want to do when you come into the room is come over to this corner and you're going to find this scrap paper that I have right here. And you're going to grab a piece of it because you're going to make yourself a workstation. So then you're going to come over here to the sink, and in these cupboards you're going to find jars that you can fill up with water. On the other side, you're going to find some palettes that you can mix colors in. They're dirty, but that's okay. And particularly white, if you use a white, and I'll show you that later. Okay, while I'm over here, I'm going to show you how to clean your brushes. So you will actually wash your brush off as much as you can using your hands. Get all the color and paint off of there. Then you're going to put it in this little bowl because that's soap. You're going to wash it off some more. Get that off. And then when you're done, you're going to put it upside down in this bucket that's right there. All right? I will take it from that bucket and I will put it back into the actual storage containers for the paintbrushes. So again, that's how you clean up. But so far, you guys, you're supposed to be getting your workstation paper, a jar of water, some paintbrushes, and then you're going to come over here and you're going to get yourself some paints. So you can take one of each, or you can just take one, whatever works best for you, and you're going to bring it over to your workstation. So sorry that this is getting all over the place. It's the only way I could figure out to take the camera and bring you around the room. So now I'm actually going to start my own workstation. So I'm going to take my piece of paper, the side, I can use the side, or I can fold it and use a cleaner side. All right, I'm going to set up my workstation. So I'm going to put my water here, my paintbrush, I'm going to get some paper towels, and then I'm ready to go. I'm going to take my clay, whatever it is I made, whether it's a clay tile, clay monster, vase, whatever it is, and I'm going to bring it to the sink and I'm going to rinse it off just really quick in like 2 seconds because it gets a dust on it. It dries really fast. So then I'm going to come and I'm going to put it down onto my workstation. Now I'm going to take my paint palette and I'm going to get to work. So these watercolor paints are awesome because they're not actually activated until you add water. So they're dry. Now what we're going to do is use this part of the tray, and I'm just doing that right now just to show you how easy it is to clean. So if you need to clean off an area, just add some water to it, wash it off. All right. This I think is a little bit blurry, so I'm trying to get it a little bit more. All right. So I'm going to activate one of my colors by adding water to it. Okay. And I'm going to just add a lot of water over here. And then you can tell that I have a pretty blue. So I'm going to just come here and put that here. If I add a little bit more blue to it, right, then that's going to get a little darker, right? If I wanted to get it even lighter, I just bring it over here lighter, and I can make it even lighter right there, right? So I'm kind of doing value scale. Most people like to, when they're working with just clay, keep right in this little color palette and just add water and mix it until it becomes like this creamy mixture. And then now watch. Whoa, that is bright and beautiful. So I can come up with all these different values. Like I said, most people like to stick with the dark one because it really pops out at you. All right. Now we have a lot of colors to use, which is wonderful. Our yellows and our whites usually get dirty, but you saw how easy it was for me to clean this area. Just grab a sponge, go like that, and you can clean those lighter ones out. My orange is ugly too, no problem at all. I just take my sponge, go like that, and clean it out, and then I have a nice clean palette. So Here's the problem. My white never actually gets to this pure white. So there is another kind of paint over there that I'm going to let you use, and it is this acrylic paint, all right? You're only going to be able to use the white. You're not allowed to use any other colors because all these colors are perfect. However, the white, I would say, is not perfect. So I'll let you use the acrylic paint. So you're gonna have to go back over the sink and get yourself a little palette, and you're going to put about a pea-size squirt because everything that you've made is quite small, and so just a little bit of paint will go a long ways. Then I can use this pure white paint on my clay. Now, here's the problem. This paint is already activated. You don't have to add water to it. This paint also, when it dries rock hard, like a solid rock, and you can never get it wet again. So if you take some of this paint and you put it onto this over here and it dries, you're gonna ruin the watercolor because you're not gonna be able to activate it anymore because you put a coating of this kind of paint over it, which dries rock hard. So you never wanna take this color, white or kind of paint, and put it over on your watercolor paint palette. However, if you would like to, I just took a clean brush, take some of this and add it to here, that's totally fine. You can add your watercolor paint to your white, but this should never actually make it onto your palette. So I can take this and put it here, and you can see what color that makes as well. So again, really important, do not put this paint onto this. Only take a separate mixing tray and mix it on here. Then when I'm done, I'm going to take a sponge and clean up my table. I'm going to put my jar away where I got it from, wash my brushes like I explained to you at the beginning of the video, and clean up. Your clay tile or monster or whatever you're working on will go back into the same cupboard that you used to store it in while you were building it. All right, good luck.